Hi everyone, it is Marie here from Skeinz, and this, can you believe it? This is the final video for 2019. Where has the year gone? I know many of you are saying it, we're certainly saying it here. It has been such an incredible year. So I thought I would do a video this morning nice and early before everybody gets here, so I can let you know all our bits and pieces and what's going on over the next little summer bit, and have a wee recap, and hopefully do it before the phones start ringing and things start getting crazy and all the jobs that we have to do before we head away for a festive break. So look, I've even written a big list. Look at that list. I know, so organized for me. The first thing on the list is thank you. Look at that, thank you. It has been a huge year for us. Massive, absolutely massive year for us. And I just want to thank everybody who has taken the time to either purchase from us online, come and visit us in store, who've contributed in our communities, in our online communities, especially the speakeasy. We really appreciate your time to be able to do that, because we're all so incredibly busy, and for you to give us a slice of your time to reach out or to purchase or to do any of those things across the year is incredibly precious to us. And so thank you very much for that. And it's been quite humbling this year to actually see the swell and the support that we have out there. And it's difficult, like when you have a business like ours, which started, I mean, for many that don't know, I mean, Skeinz and its previous incarnation, which was the knitter's factory shop, has actually been around for almost 35 years. And it's, so this isn't, in fact, in our new logo, you'll see where it says established. In fact, it's even earlier than that, the mill prior to that. So we've been around for a long time. And you forget that when you switch to an online-based business, more of your business grows online, which is the way of the world these days, that you sometimes, you know, that human connection gets lost. And it's just really humbling when we have people, particularly if they have been online customers, they come and visit us in store, and you can put faces to names, and or they share images, and so you feel like you've got a connection with people, and you actually understand what they're doing and what they're creating. And for someone like me who works in this business, and a large part of what I do is new product development, it's really important for me to know what you love to do and what you love to knit, and how you love to knit it. And that has been really incredibly special this year, because you've shared that with us, and it has just been it's been quite a joy and a real blessing. So thank you so much for that. We really do appreciate the love. You've let us know who you are, and yeah, for that we're ever so truly grateful. So thank you so much for that. And wow, what a year it's been. I mean, it's been a huge year this year. We sort of came back from the summer break, and we were straight into Unwind, which we go to every year. For those who don't know Unwind is sort of the South Island. I like to think of it as the South Island can, but it's not. It's wonderfully event that I do. In fact, it's my favourite retreat because I don't have to organise it, so I love it. But it is awesome. It's organised by the incredible Mohair of Vintage Pearls, and she holds it in central Dunedin every year. And it is just, if you're in the South Island or you get to Dunedin, it is definitely well worth going to. It's a wonderful event, incredible classes, which I know most are sold out for next year, but there is still there's a marketplace. And I love the way Mohair does it. Like there's a real intensity about the event, and a huge concentrated group of some really talented artisans, and it is it's really quite fantastic. So it is worth definitely registering for that, if registrations are still available, because if it is wonderful. I really do enjoy it, and we will be there again this year. So we started off with Unwind in early March, and then that rolled pretty much straight into the epic sale, which I know many of you have partaken before, an epic sale. And this year's epic sale, I can tell you, was well and truly epic, and that was huge. That was in the first half of March. And then we, for me, we moved straight down to Creative Fibre Festival in April. May saw Wool Fest, and then we I took a break in the middle for a month or two, because then we headed straight into Knit August Nights, which was in August. And Knit August Nights was, for me this year, really special because it was the 10-year anniversary. So, I mean, things like that are wonderful milestones, which you absolutely adore, but it's totally terrifying because you want to do something really special because it is 10 years. And this year, I was really delighted to be able to bring out StevenBe, or StevenBe, from the US. He has been basically a firebrand in the American yarn scene now for the best part of 20 years. Fashion designer by training. What I love about Steven is he shakes you out of your paradigms and forces you to push your creative boundaries. And for our 10-year anniversary for Knit August Nights, I thought that was just the perfect person to have. And he really was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And we've done some more limited edition yarns in collaboration with him, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. So Steven was just incredibly wonderful. And in fact, if you follow any of Steven's social media, and I hope you do, and if you don't, you need to, on Instagram and on Facebook. If you do, you may have seen he's been having a special birthday month for December, and he had a huge big birthday celebration in his store last week. But just between me, you, and the gatepost, it's his birthday tomorrow, Christmas Eve. Shh, but I didn't tell you that. But I know that for a fact. I saw it in his passport. Not that I can see him hiding that at all, because Steven's not a man for secrets. But there you go. It's his birthday, and it's a big one tomorrow. So happy birthday, Steven. What else did we do after Cannes? Well, then after Cannes, and in fact, that's pretty much what we were doing across the winter. After Cannes, we moved here. And it all happened kind of suddenly. In the end, it was one of those things that, when you talk about something and you think that it might be a good idea, and then all of a sudden when you think, I might commit to that idea, it all happens just like that. And that's pretty much what happened with this. We found the location became available on the 1st of July, and it was one of those situations where a whole bunch of things all fell into place very, very quickly for us. And this new location has been it's just been wonderful to be able to finally have somewhere that we can showcase our yarns for people to come and visit and actually see what it is that we do. Whereas we loved the old store, and we really did, but for anybody who went to the old store knows it only took 3 or 4 people to be in there, and it felt crowded, and we had so much jammed in there, whereas now we have acres and acres of space, so we can actually spread all the yarns out so it can be easier for you to find. And more importantly, we now have this fantastic warehouse. So we can again have more flexibility to be able to stock and hold more yarns for you, so you're able to access what you want when you want it. So the move here it was really quick. We actually moved from one location. For those that don't geographically know, the mill is literally only around the corner, like a 60-second drive away, 2 streets over from where we are, but we've actually moved up onto the main arterial of Taradale Road. So we've been able to be easier to find for people. We've got loads of parking, and again, I'll talk about our hours and what we're doing for the summer shortly, but the move here was huge, really, really huge. So that was September, and then sort of September, October, and then running straight into November, we had Skeinz at Sea in the Cannes cruise, which was just recently, which was wonderful. It was daunting and scary because I've never done anything with the group like that before. We had 50 in the group total, 32 of them were doing the knitting and class portions of that. We had the wonderful Susan Hagedorn and Nanette Cormack who were on board with us doing classes, and it really was loads and loads of fun. 2/3 of the people were first-time cruisers, which for myself and my travel partner Carly was really challenging because it's daunting. Your first cruise, I mean, I can tell you from personal experience, it's terrifying doing your first cruise because you don't know what to expect. And by about day 4, they were so into it. They had totally got the vibe of how it works. They had everything nailed and locked down, and everybody, I think, just had a really fantastic time. So we had a wonderful group. So thank you to all of those that took the plunge in the first year. Carly and I have got looking into itineraries for 2021. We've got one potential in April, but we're just waiting for the back end of the 2021 itineraries to be released, and then we'll make a decision and get that put up for you guys. So if you're interested in at Skeinz at Sea or can cruise, do drop me a line and let me know, and I can show you how you can register your interest for that, or even just join the newsletter here at Skeinz, because I will let you know when those dates have been released. And lastly, we've had the Skeinz Stitch in Summer, which has been going this month, and they have been so much fun. Tuesdays and Thursdays we've been doing a series of one-day specials, and we've been, again, absolutely blown away by the support that you guys have had with this, how much you've loved it. We've loved it. It's not over. There's still heaps more to come. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute and let you know what we've got coming up a little later on. But one of the things I wanted to cover off in terms of the shop is you may have noticed some new faces, and I have been posting those up in the community. Lorraine, you recognise, we've had Lorraine, actually, she started, would you believe, Lorraine started the week before the Epic sale. And she survived Epic sale and didn't run for the hills. She actually came back, which makes Lorraine a national treasure, because anyone that can come into a role and literally the first thing you go into is our Skeinz Epic sale is, you know, that you have got a spine of absolute steel. And Lorraine has been, she is our absolutely crafty creative genius. She is, if you've been to our store now, we have these amazing, incredible, huge windows, which if you're a yarn store is wonderful because it's flooded with natural light, but we can't have the yarn faced round into the windows because of UV. So we have all our shelving is all backed off against the window, so we have the space, this blank canvas, as it were, for these huge window displays. And Lorraine is the absolute master of these, and she has been doing a lot of our display work in the store and has just made such a tremendous contribution. And we have now, and Heather, you may, remember Karen, she is still with us. She's moved down just to a casual, she's got grandchildren and all things like this, and family that she wants to spend time with, but she's still popping in and making sure that we're keeping things up to snuff. So Karen is still here, but generally on Saturdays, and she does pop in to cover from time to time during the week. And then we've also given Lorraine a couple of wee ducklings to look after, and they are namely Heather and Kirsty. And you would have seen Heather has been posted up, and she is a fantastic crochet artist. She is, you may have seen her reindeer that she made. She's very, very clever. So it's so good to have someone with really extensive crochet experience on board. It is definitely something we've been lacking. I'm very rudimentary. So, and Lorraine is better than I am, but Heather is the absolute crochet queen. So it's been so good to have her. And then we've got Kirsty, who's only been with us a very short time, and she is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. She's loves to knit, she loves colour, and she is just such a breath of fresh air in the shop as well. So we've got a wonderful, wonderful team. Claire and I are still scratching around here in the office as we do, and you may have seen Damien. We posted a lot of Damien from the old store, but we actually stole him just for our very own selves from the mill warehouse, and he now hangs out here with the girls, which just secretly he absolutely loves, and he keeps that warehouse ticking over, and he makes sure that your parcels get to where they need to be, and he spends a lot of time making sure that everything that you need is right where you need it. So that is the team, and that's the team here on this location. Then we've still got our extended team at the mill, and probably tomorrow we've got a fantastic photo we're going to share with you taken of all the wider team, so you can actually see the incredible people that bring you all the yarn that we create across the year. And it is a real team effort, and they're a wonderful group across at the mill, and We love them all dearly, because without them there would be no Skeinz. So it's really important to give them some love. If you want to come and visit us over the summer, yes, we are definitely open. And in fact, this is the first time ever that we're open right across the summer period, particularly in between the statutory days. Generally, we've closed. Not this year. We're open today until 3:30, tomorrow till 3:30. We're only closed the stat days, Christmas Day, Boxing Day. Then we're back open from the 27th through to the 31st. Just our standard hours, weekdays 10 till 3:30 and Saturday 10 till 1. And then we'll be closed New Year's Day and the 2nd, and then back open again on the 3rd, back to standard hours. So if you're in the Bay Area and you're wanting to come and visit us, we would love to see you. We will definitely be here. I know I'm working a day or two in between, so I'll be around as well. So do come in and say hi. And even if you don't necessarily need anything and you just want to come and check out the new store, just come on in. We've got a crafting room off to the side. We've got couches in there. So if you have other family members who are non-crafters that don't really understand this whole crafting concept, look, you can even go and grab them the coffee at Streetwise Coffee up the road, bring them in with your coffee, park them on the couch with a magazine and take your time. So we've even got, and if they're really good, we might even give them a toy to play with. So we have got that there. So don't feel like you have to do a lightning raid. And we've got loads of parking. So even if you're in a camper, you should be able to pull in here and have absolutely no trouble parking to come and visit. So do come and see us across the break. Right, I'm doing well. Right, let's get on to juicy stuff. Let's get on to fun stuff like yarn. I mentioned before, Steven, you will remember we've had his limited edition yarns. While he was here, he helped design some colorways which we produced specifically for Can. So the first of those were these guys here. So this is Licorice Swirl and Peacock. So those were the first two. We've got these are up now and live in 4-ply. These are the 4-ply versions. The DKs have now arrived, and I added this guy here, which is Licorice Splice. And Licorice Splice is essentially, if Licorice Swirl and Peacock had a love child, this is what it would look like. And we've got this in 4-ply. We now have these in DK. That's actually one of my jobs today, is just to give you rudimentary Marie photos until the wonderful Steph photos arrive. So I'm going to get those up and loaded for you today. And I know many of you have been asking for it, but we've also, the Mohair is now here. So this is a Mohair that we've done. We've done it in 3 colors. And as you can see, Mohair does some really wonderful things with the color. It just softens everything out. Now, let me get one of these so I can show you the thickness of this. This is we call this a DK Mohair, but it's essentially, it's not whisper fine. It's not as fine as the Vivienne that we've got, but it is fine enough that you could still knit something like Love Note, for example, and you would only need to use just this. You wouldn't need to double strand it back with anything else. So it's, where is a strand? There we go. So that's the thickness that you're looking at there. So it's not like our brushed Mohair of old, which was about a 12-ply. It's very thick. That's it there. Technically, it knits up as a double knit, but I mean, like something for Love Note, which I think, actually, I've got the pattern right here. And Love Note, there we go. They have this worked on 4.5 and 6mm needles, so 4.5mm for bands, 6mm across the body. Well, that will give you a really lovely sheer garment. So that is fantastic. That looks super, super, super pretty on its own. And you could do ranunculus in this as well on its own. But as you can see, it's just absolutely beautiful. And you can still work this back with, there we go, with its compatriot there. Or you could just work it back with solid shades. And if you're working it back with solid shades, remember we've got the sock, the 4-ply sock. Have I got any of that handy looking? No. But it does, we have got like a Quarry Ridge, which is that dark grey, which would look amazing with this. And also too the black the black cherry would look incredible because you've got these sort of colours and tones here. So there's loads of different things that you can do with this. And it just adds a little bit of colour and interest and texture. And this is beautiful and soft. So these will be up today. So you should be able to access those, hopefully, by this afternoon. So those are definitely coming. These are yarns that we've redone with Steven, because we're going to be taking these also up to Stitches West, which is in Santa Clara in California in February, and we're going to be selling these with Steven up there. So if you are in the US, or you do go to Stitches West, which is one of the biggest shows, retail shows held every year over in the US, we'll be there, and we'd love to see you. And I will have those yarns with me, so it's really exciting to have those. The other thing that we've just got coming, and again, I'm hoping I'm going to get these up before Christmas, but if I don't, they will be up probably in between. They've only just, all of these have only just come in. I've only just got grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've missed the natural colour. These are called Cove. We did another recycled batch of natural fibre yarns, and they were quite dark. We had a lot of darker fibre, recycled fibre. So we've gone and done, because everybody has this passion for colour work at the moment, so we've gone and done this. So these are the 4-ply here, and am I going to be able to hold them up without tipping them all out? There we go. That. And we've gone and done these in rich, deep, broody colours. This 4-ply is actually spun to the same count as Southlander Sport. The yarn and the fibre is actually definitely softer and squishy than Southlander Sport. But if you're wanting to add an oatmeal or cream as a contrast, you could, because these colours, I mean, they really do sing incredibly well together. Look at that. And beautiful for colour. I am so in love with this orange. I cannot tell you how long it has taken to get this rich, deep, burnt orange colour. We've been trying to get that in a range for so long and just get it just right, and we've done it here. Very excited about that. And it is so soft. It is so soft. So it is. That will be coming up very soon. Incredible price. So we've got 8 shades in 4-ply, 8 shades in DK coming with that. So if you're doing some colour work, especially any of the Strange Brewery, any of the Caitlin Hunters, these yarns will look amazing, and they give you that beautiful rustic, tweedy sort of look, that lovely heathery sort of grainy look, but in our beautiful deep, rich, saturated shades. So we're really excited about those. So they're coming. So as I said, with any luck, I'll get those up in between Christmas and New Year for you. What else have we got? Stitch in Summer. So I'm only going to tell everybody here. So then that means that if you've watched this video, you'll actually know what's going on. Stitch in Summer, of course, is back on again tomorrow, Christmas Eve. Just because it's Christmas Eve, we're not going to not have Stitch in Summer. Pearl. If you're a pearl person, so pearl and black pearl is what is going on for Stitch in Summer tomorrow. And where is my magical piece of paper? There it is. I spilt coffee all over it. Honestly, look, coffee stains everywhere. So pearl tomorrow, $6.95 on pearl. It's saving $2 a ball. And also we're having a huge, if you're wanting to do super chunky knits and wanting to do those big bedspreads and all the rest of it, Cape and Home are going to be on Boxing Day. Now, because it's Boxing Day, this one is online only. So it is the only day that we've got 2 days, this next Boxing Day and the second. Both of those days will only be online because obviously the store is not going to be open. And that day we've got Cape and Home $4.95 for a 200 gram ball. So if you've been wanting to do one of those big blankets or cushions and or anything like that, and just so you know, you'll need to get about 10 to do a large blanket, because we've got big ones knitted in the shop and they've taken between 8 and 10 balls. this is definitely the time to get that. The yarns have been discontinued, so we're literally clearing them out. So I would definitely be doing that. And Skeinz Stitch and Summer will be carrying on all the way through to the end of January. And believe me, we have got some really huge, some of our absolute favourite all-time yarns are going to be going on Stitch and Summer in January. So believe me, when I send you those emails, don't you be ignoring them. Don't you be going, oh, no, that's just Marie again. You need to be opening them, trust me, because the specials are only on for the day and we will not be extending those specials out elsewhere. So really important that you do that. Right. What else have we got? I haven't even bought what's on my needles. But my oldest told me that he wanted a scarf. He was very specific about it. He came to me over the weekend and says, I would like a scarf, Mummy. And I said, oh, that's nice. This is what I want. And then he went up and he drew it for me. And then we had to come in here at 10 o'clock on Saturday and go shopping for the yarn. So I have started that because, of course, he wanted it by the end of Saturday. And I did need to explain to him that these things take longer than that. So that has now been started. And I will, trust me, get onto our knit along that we're doing for the speakeasy, which of course is Love Note or Ranunculus or the Big Heart Wrap, which we've got going on. I'm going to get onto one of those, I promise. So we have all of that happening. And it's, yes, so I have to admit that was like, oh, okay, all right, buddy. So I've started that over the weekend and I'm halfway through a Charles Gandy hat design, which I'm doing a bit of a double test for him as well, and it is beautiful. I'm doing it in the pearl, and it is black pearl actually in sparrow, and it is so beautiful. Loads of twisted stitches, and it is just it's beautiful, Charles. It is absolutely beautiful, and so I'm itching to try and get that finished so I can at least show you that with some photographs very soon. So that's what's on my needles. So keep telling us what's on yours, because you can do that over in the speakeasy. We love you sharing what you're sharing. So do make sure, if you haven't joined the speakeasy, make sure you join and then share what you're doing. Our theme this month is Summer of Love, and we just love to see it. We love to see what you're doing. We love to see what you're knitting and crocheting and weaving and what's on your needles or hooks at this time of year. So do make sure you continue to share that. And I'm going to stop talking because it has been how long? Oh, you're there half an hour. See my magic? This is time for me to stop talking. But before I do, again, I just want to thank everyone for their support this year. It has been incredible. And take some time out. Hopefully you get a chance to take some time out just to chill out and relax and to get some stitching done, enjoy some knitting or crochet or whatever your yarn craft of choice may be. And, you know, just remember that this time of year is really special, and we're all so lucky to be able to do what we do. And this is the time of year that we can get together with family and friends and just have some time, you know, have some connection. You know, step away from keyboards and things like that, and just instead of calling out, call around and have a cup of tea and just be and talk and enjoy and, you know, make some new connections, meet a neighbour on a campsite, talk to that person in the dairy when you go to grab your milk. Whatever it may be, take some time to connect, and we will see you again in the new year. And until then, happy stitching and have a very Merry Christmas from all of the team here at Skeinz.